Welcome to Bookalyptic. Today I will be reviewing a book, and I know I'm late to the hype. I am definitely late to the hype. I doubted if I should read it at first, but then I let TikTok convince me, and I went and bought Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. It's the first book in the Empyrean series, by the way. In Fourth Wing, we follow Violet Sorrengail and Xaden Riorson, and Violet enters Basquiat War College so she could become a rider. And, well, since she is frail and breakable, as we learn immediately in the beginning of the book, the challenges she will face, they are brutal for her. With her being this frail and breakable person, we get a nice representation of the Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. But, Violet, despite being fragile, she doesn't back down and she really gives it her all. And so, well, the book has a lot of political intrigue, and you get to learn a lot about dragons, about the Basquiat War College. Basquiat War College. This is a really annoying word, but yeah. And you get to experience the friendships between the persons entering the college, the persons already there, how they navigate through all the things they have to do to become a rider. And they also get a chance to be chosen by a dragon, but not everyone will be chosen by a dragon. And you get to know all those things. You get to know all the different lands, really the political intrigue among all of them. And so there is said to be a slow burn enemies to lovers romance. But reading it, I found it to be rather quick. Well, there wasn't really that slow burn. When it happened, and it was there. Not so slow, really, in my opinion. And Xaden, he's everything Violet shouldn't want, which is often the case in these books. But during the story, we get to see them grow closer to each other, and they settle their differences, and that's when it really happens. But the romantic scenes between them, well, they aren't bad, but they could have been better. Like, for me personally, the smut wasn't smutting, if I can say it like that. They are a bit too superficial, a bit too standard, a bit too young. They feel young. Violet is, if I'm not mistaken, 20 something, and Xaden is a bit older than her, but they felt so young. And they occur out of nowhere, dead on the side. And that being said, the banter between Xaden and Violet, I like a good banter between a couple in a book. I'm all for it, but this banter was... I found myself thinking, get over it already. Suck it up and just go with it. Stop complaining. Because the banter was a lot of complaining and pitiful, and not the kind of banter I would like to read. The world building in the book, in my honest opinion, it could have been better. But I have to keep in mind that we spend most of the time in the War College, so we have to take that into account. It's rather limited, depending on the world building. Then we have the pacing, which starts off like medium, but then it does speed up quite quickly. And the characters in Fourth Wing, just like I said before, they're 20 plus something, but they feel so young. They feel on the younger side of 20. Like, most of them, I felt they could use a bit of growing up, but I did like them overall. It's not that I didn't like them, but they felt a bit younger than they should have been. Yeah. But apart from that, they do feel relatable, and they each have their own, although rather brief, but they each have their own story and background, which we get to know, which is also nice. And then, well, the importance of friendship and courage is felt throughout the entire story. And we also get to see and delve into a lot of self-discovery and also the moral ambiguities of war really present in the book. And as I said before, quite a lot of political intrigue, sometimes a bit too much for me. I do have to say, each chapter in the book starts with an excerpt from a field guide or a personal diary or a book or something the likes. And I did really like that. Like, you get a glimpse into something that you haven't seen before. It's from the past, but it adds to the story where it's going in the present. And then we also get to see and feel the hierarchy between the dragons and the dragon riders. And even though certain dragons are, well, they're featured more than others, just like the FMCs and MMCs. But I would like to have seen more about the dragons and also about the other mythical creatures in the book. Would have been nice if there would have been more about those things. But then, all in all, well, I wish I could give it 5 stars, because I mean, this book, it has a lot of reviews. It has a ton of reviews. It has millions of reviews, and it goes from 5 stars to 1 star. And while I can understand some of the reviews, I think some of them are also a bit too harsh. But then again, I wish I could give the book 5 stars, but I didn't. For me, it's more like a 4 star, maybe 3.8 star, because it's a really hyped book. And I expected more, I guess. I'm currently reading Iron Flame, that being said, so I will review that as soon as I'm done. But yeah, with all the hype and all the reviews, good and bad reviews, because sometimes I felt I didn't feel good that I did like the book, reading some of those reviews, which shouldn't be the case with reviews, but anyhow. I expected more due to all the hype, but I did like the book, and I am reading the second book. So yeah, for me, 3.8 for stars, because it isn't bad. But I also have to say that I have read some ARC reads which could easily stand next to this book, which are easily as good, if not better, than Fourth Wing. But that being said, I like the dragons. I didn't like some of the banter between Violet and Xaden, and the smut wasn't smutting for me. But it was a good book. I did enjoy the book. That I have to mention it. I did enjoy the book, so it's not bad. I didn't find it bad. I just expected more, which can be the case when certain books are hyped, and you get to, in your own imagination, imagine things, how it would be, how it will be, and then you read it, and it's just like a book that's been translated into a movie, and you like it, but you're like, well, I expected something else. So, my review for Fourth Wing. Let me know in the comments below if you read the book, what you thought about the book, if you have other books you want to talk about. Really would like to see that and get to know your book favorites. For now, thank you for watching my video and sharing your time with me, and I hope to see you in the next one.